everyone, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. I guess we should be saying welcome back to me. Look, it was my birthday. That does not mean I have not been keeping up with the ongoing happenings of Miss Universe Philippines. In fact, I have several videos that were supposed to be uploaded, including 2 favorites videos that never got uploaded. So if you see me splice in some of that footage here and there, because you probably will see me do that, don't be surprised. And I just love how I put on eye makeup and I just got bangs in my face. That was a decision that I made. Yes, it was my birthday, and thank you to everybody who went out of their way to remember my birthday and send me birthday wishes. My birthday was April 19th for those of you who just didn't know when my birthday was. Also, besides my birthday, this happened.
Stop! Bike's down.
Don't worry. I'm totally fine. There was no damage or anything. Everything is posted on the second channel, on the family channel, the House of Sovereign, where I post other stuff. If you want to see me and my full nonsense and shenanigans, but like I said, totally fine. No like serious damage. My bike is wonderful. But if you're wondering what was going down, it was me. So things have been happening in the last, 2 weeks since I've been dibbling and dabbling, and I was supposed to post videos, they just never got out. And yes, I want to be sure to let everybody know there will be a finals Miss Universe Philippines reaction that I do every year because it's fun, and Miss Universe Philippines always gives me something to look forward to and love on. Like their competitions are always like wonderful in the most like different and dynamic and surprising ways. So I look forward to seeing what happens during finals night, and I will do a reaction. However, I am going out of town with my biker friends this weekend. I will be making a vlog about it because it's going to be so epic. Trust me, the vlog is probably going to be worth watching because biker friends are crazy. But I'll be out of town, and it's really difficult for those of us in the United States to watch Miss Universe Philippines live. So what I'm going to do is you guys are going to have to tolerate me checking out of social media through the weekend, because I will not tolerate any spoilers of my favorite freaking show. Like, this is like the series finale that I need to watch, and there will be no spoilers. You will not spoil this for me. So I am deleting Discord, Instagram, Facebook, like Twitter, all of it. There's just not a chance that I would let anybody spoil this event for me. Like, imagine Shaylin comes out Miss Universe Philippines. I am going to flip my lid. Like, I'm gonna karate chop my wooden table and freaking nail it on my wall with her face on it. Like, I would just like, I can't have any spoilers. So I will be checked out and silent up until I watch through the finale. And I'm so excited to see who wins. But just in case you're wondering where I am, or if I'm gonna do a live stream directly after competition, I likely won't, because American citizens don't get to watch it typically live. It's really hard to do. So no spoilers for me. I'm just gonna shut everything off until I get to see the playback. And I'm so excited. All right, onward with the video. So, gosh, where do we start? There have been so many developments. I went on this spiel about the dark horses of Miss Universe Philippines, and I will be bringing up one woman specifically because I do believe that one thing that I said during one of those videos is very pertinent to the information that I'm going to say today. And because I know I have to talk about so much, we're going to get directly into my top 15 list, starting at number 15.
Miss Iloilo Province. Miss Las Piñas. Miss Bulacan. Miss Victoria City.
I ranted and raved about Victoria City so much in a video. I didn't even post the video because half the video is me ranting and raving about Victoria City. Number 1, most improved competitor in this bunch, period. She is outstanding. The amount of information and training and how much better she has gotten. I can clearly see this girl she is practicing. She is fighting. I saw her during press presentation, she came out with the face, she came out with the slay, she was throwing her hair, and I'm just like, baby, this is exactly what I asked you to do. In the live stream, she gave me exactly what I asked. She is a darling that like teachers and coaches love because Victoria's City listens. Shaylin listens. Everything, whatever her coaches tell her to do, any information people give her, Shaylin does it, and she gets so much better. This is the dark horse right here. Shaylin she's proving me right every step of the way, and this is why I've been ranting and raving about her. Every time I talk about Shaylin, she gets better. There's another woman on this list who has been giving Shaylin behavior, but bar none, Shaylin is the most improved competitor, period. If any of these, like Shaylin would be so easy for a coach to just teach her and turn her into a complete Miss Universe package because she learns and listens so thoroughly. Just freaking give her all the damn knowledge. All the knowledge. There was no way I was leaving her off this list. And I know a lot of people don't want to give her cookies. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about her. And I don't understand why. Because Shaylin has been giving the attitude. She's been giving the slay. And she doesn't have the backing the way some of these other women do. I get that she's not necessarily a part of like these camps or stuff. That doesn't mean she gets to go overlooked. You can't tell me you didn't see these faces. You can't tell me you didn't see the subtle slay happening here. And honestly, I'm going to give Shaylin the cheat codes because she listens, okay? She's clearly listening. You can see the development and I'm so in love with it. Like, have I ever seen a better improvement than this? Like she's giving me Curacao 2020. Like she's doing so. Chantal's one of the most improved women I've ever seen. Shaylin is coming for Chantal's title because she's one of the most improved competitors I've ever seen. So cheat codes for Shaylin. Babe, you got the confidence. All the confidence that we all said that you needed to show, you are doing the damn thing. Whoever Shaylin's coaches are, you are doing the damn thing. Now I'm going to give you the cheat codes because this list was so hard for me to make. There's only decimal points. There's minuscule, like little tidbits. There's barely any room between a Victoria's City and even a Davao Del Norte. Like these women are not that far away from you. It seems like it. And quite honestly, I'm going to erase the numbers for rankings 10 through 5 because y'all are so close in proximity, in score, in perception, that it's almost not even negligible. Like it doesn't even matter because you're so close to each other. Shaylin could easily shoot up past a lot of these women by just doing one thing. One thing, Shaylin. Have fun, girl. Have fun, which sounds like a simple thing, but if you go back and watch prelims, we can see a lot of these women being very structured in their performances. It almost looks like a walkthrough of what their coaches told them to do. We didn't see a lot of energy. We didn't see a lot of happiness. We didn't see a lot of like true excitement living in the moment. They were truly, you can see the women trying to perform. We don't want to just see you practice. We don't want to see a walkthrough rehearsal. We want to see you have fun. We want to see the legitimate smiles, the little flares, the moments that make your performance exciting and special. Shaylin, girls got the confidence. We've seen her have the slay. Now just have fun with it. Smile, flirt, own it. That's what we need because a lot of these women truly did not do that. There's very few women that came out and just like enjoyed themselves. For any of these competitors, especially the women who are ranking outside of top 10 or who are on the bottom half of the list, one simple tiny change is the difference between 11th place and 4th place. It is that small of a gap between you and your competition. So I highly encourage every woman who is on this list. I am telling you right now, the 6 of you that might be watching this, you have a chance. But come finals, you better let loose. I mean, pedal to the metal. You better throw it all on the floor and have fun because it's your only one chance to get this done. Geek. And though I have raved about Geek, especially when it comes to her performance ability, Geek needed to improve her interview skills in order to do better because there was no way that she could give the type of interview that we saw before her final interview and persist on to obtaining the crown. That was something that she really needed to tackle. And I saw a lot of fans had anticipated that she was going to have interview problems, and she did. Her interview was so much better. It was so much better, Geek, and you should be so proud of yourself. You should be so happy. I was stunned. I was surprised to see how well she was speaking, how comfortable she was in front of the judging panel and that audience. I didn't expect the laughter. I didn't expect that ease. Whatever, like, props to the coaches, the team. You guys had her practice. You identified the problem or you took criticism, whatever it was, whatever you listened to, it worked because it is very clear that she improved in her interview. Was it entirely perfect? No, but it was totally relatable. It was like, I was comfortable listening to her. She sounded like a queen. She sounded like a contender. She sounded like somebody I wanted to talk to. She didn't seem nervous. I understand that she still struggles a little bit with English, but from what she was giving during that interview, it was 100% acceptable for Miss Universe Philippines crown. She did what she needed to do, and I cannot say how proud I am enough of that level of improvement because I did not expect to see it. Moving into her performance, I expected a little bit more. I expected a little bit more from Geek. Not her swimsuit was pretty fun. I think it was her evening gown that needed a little bit of refinement. And it seems like a lot of women kind of struggled with evening gown. Like, evening gown was the problem in prelims. What Philippines is typically like, that's typically your focus. That's typically where you guys shine. So it's a little weird that we're having so many evening gown issues where evening gown performances are coming off too forced and unnatural. And, you know, they're doing a lot of movement. Like, you guys are giving a lot of Miss Grand energy. And I did see some comments during the live streams. People were calling it out, saying there was a lot of Miss Grandness going on. When people are calling you like Miss Grand or giving you Miss Grand energy, it's saying that your performance seems like a performance. It seems like it's theatrical. It doesn't necessarily seem like it's you. It's coming from you naturally. Now, I don't think Geek went overboard with her evening gown performance. I just felt like it was too flat, especially for the runway video that we got from Geek. I'm like, where's that girl? Give me that. I want that. Those faces, that dynamic dimension, that happiness and flirtation. Give me that. That's the Geek that we need because the interview has improved. So if she can bring the full package, she's going to win. Like, it would be so easy for Geek to easily jump into top 5 if she comes with her A game. So let's all hope she comes with her A game. Palawan. She showed up and showed out during prelims, didn't she? I'm hoping that she can kick it up a notch for finals. But this is a woman who I did not necessarily see as boring at all on stage. Her swimsuit was great. It looked like she was having a little bit of fun. It looks like she was being a little bit flirtatious. Her evening gown, that bright yellow, suited her very well. I wish we had just a little bit more grace out of her. Honestly, I think for Palawan, her interview is what is going to hold her back the most. And I am so happy that Miss Universe Philippines is comfortable enough to show the fan base the interviews of the queens. You know, we all get to sit along and play imaginary judge. No, I'm not a judge this year. I know there was a lot of speculation. No, I'm not secretly in the Philippines. I'm sorry. I can like dispel that now. Palawan is not as streamlined and comfortable giving her answers as some of the other women are. And so I think that that's what is really going to hinder her, on top of the fact that once again, she's just not having as much fun as I fully believe some of these women are capable of doing. We have seen some performances that were completely enchanting, endearing, memorable on a Miss Universe Philippines stage. And these are coming from women who were truly just living in the moment, like doing things off the top of their head that necessarily wouldn't have worked otherwise. Baguio, I have to say, Baguio, your beauty during interview, hypnotic. Stunning, distracting. I mean, I'm staring at her and I'm like, oh my God, what was the question? What is she saying? This woman, her looks are beyond captivating. Like, I'm staring at her and I'm like, what is happening right now? Gorgeous. The outfit that you were wearing, like, stop. Like, Baguio. Somebody put a bag over her head because I'm like, I'm trying to listen to what she's saying and she's just staring at my face and I'm looking at her face and I just want to put her on a cookie jar or something. Like, she's so freaking cute. Like, she definitely could be a Bratz doll. Like, I would buy the Barbie doll of Baguio City. She's gorgeous. In my opinion, from my perspective, evening gown was the issue for Baguio. For a woman who's been so enticing, so charming, I expected more from her come evening gown. One, I'm not necessarily sure she chose the right evening gown to wear during preliminaries. A mermaid evening gown is a very hard thing to pull off, especially when it is that stiff. You really are restricting your bodily movements, and your focus, or the focus of the audience and the judges, is really going to be on the upper half of your body. You really got to be attracting attention up here because it's restricting the flow of your legs and your walk as you're moving. It takes practice to walk in a gown like that. And I'm not exactly sure that gown was to her benefit. Now, Baguio City is so gorgeous and still such a good performer that she's able to still pull out a decent performance. However, I think that she could have done better without having the restrictions of that mermaid gown. As I said, as I'm going up the list, you're not really seeing any numbers. I mean, I could put the numbers up there, but the distance between these competitors from like number 10 to number 6 or number 5, they're so minuscule. Like the distance between them is so slight that the numbers don't really matter. Baguio City can definitely come out during finals, giving a dynamic, dimensional performance, giving us all types of faces and fun, and easily take a top 5 spot from one of the other women who don't kick it up a notch. This competition is kind of really up in the air right now. So I don't know who's gonna win. Davao del Norte. I have been keeping an eye on her and watching her and studying her ever since she did so well during interview. I'm like, I wonder if I can see her come out and really give a decent performance, really a captivating, good competitor-ish performance. And she had. When I did my other list for Davao del Norte, honestly, I think I had her in the exact same spot. No, she moved up 1 spot. But Davao del Norte has been another woman that has been consistently a well speaker, but she's also presenting herself like a true competitor. She's got grace and very easygoing nature on stage. She's giving a little bit of fun. I'm just not getting that flair from her. I don't think I've ever gotten flair from Davao del Norte. She's been consistent in her performances, but not necessarily captivating. The girl is gorgeous, she is beautiful, but she doesn't have that spice. I've never seen that fire come from her, though she does strike me as a finalist type of performer. So I do expect, especially with her speaking abilities, that she is very far up, even the judges list. They're going to like her because the girl can speak and she's pretty. So if she can just add a little bit of something special to her performance, she's a shoo-in to be a fave. Pause. And this is where we splice in this specific footage for this specific woman. Roll tape. Makati. I know, yes, you guys are going to throw things at the screen. Throw things at the screen, it's fine. But I have a justification. I overthink these things. And I do have a justification. Now, this is the number 2 spot, okay? There are plenty of times, many times, that my number 2 has come out number 1. The only thing more dangerous than a consistent competitor is a consistently improving competitor. Yes, Makati has been consistent. She has been a flat line the whole time, has not stammered, stuttered, tripped, faltered, not once. But my number 1 spot is moving like this. And honestly, I think Makati's gotten too comfortable. She is entirely too consistent. It seems like she doesn't see the need or find the need to improve. It seems like she feels like I can just stay right here and win. It seems like she feels like she can sit back and stay exactly where she is and no one's gonna come for her. You can't do that in a competition, especially like Miss Universe Philippines, where the rest of the pack is doing their damnedest to gain on you. Don't yell at me. I hear you, okay? Don't yell at me. I have a justification for what I do, all right? So just give me a chance. I just had my birthday. Have mercy on me. All right, look, I know that there are some people throwing absolute fits to see Makati this far below the list. However, she actually did fall victim to what I said in my original video, being that Makati by no means is a bad competitor. By no means is she poor. In fact, she is one of the most consistent women in competition. However, as I stated in the footage, Makati really hasn't been improving. Yes, she's been good, but she's been very stationary when it comes to her abilities in her presentation, in her interviews. It's really just been the same. Meanwhile, other women are fighting to improve. Other women are bettering themselves. So though she was good a couple weeks ago, those other women have gained on her. And what has happened with Makati is exactly what I predicted would happen a couple weeks ago. She has been surpassed by some women who bettered themselves. And I will say, I'm pretty surprised that more people didn't catch this, but Makati had a bit of a bumble during the swimwear portion of her competition. And to be totally honest, once again, she is not a bad competitor, but the only time where I felt truly wowed by Makati, like she had me fangirling, was that one moment when I first saw her headshot. That is the moment where I was fangirling the most, where I was just like raving about Makati. Ever since that moment, you guys haven't really seen me go off about Makati, have you? All I've said about her was that she was incredibly consistent, but she wasn't giving me the sparkle. She wasn't giving me the flash. She wasn't giving me the fire. She hasn't been giving me the excitement. And I think that's one thing that all of us have felt during the preliminary competition. The preliminary competition was a little underwhelming. There wasn't as much energy as we wanted. There wasn't as much fun. A lot of the women, we just weren't getting the sparkle. We weren't getting the shine. And I understand that people don't want to come out their strongest during prelims. But I have always said a Miss Universe is never average. A Miss Universe is never lackluster. I don't care if I'm sick on camera. Most people can't clock that I'm sick because I've never shown up on camera just dull and lifeless and like monotone and boring. I would rather not show up at all if that's how I'm feeling. I don't show up just not being myself. So there should never be a point where a really good competitor should ever come off as boring. So I do understand that some competitors would hold back, but you should still be able to give an enticing, engaging, wow type of performance and still save an extra little bit of spice, an extra little bit of sauce, a little bit of oomph, a little bit of surprise for your finale. Now, I am well aware that by stating these things out loud, I am thusly making my favorites list largely irrelevant already because Makati is not going to stay here. Makati is going to do what Makati needs to do to be a fighter and a finalist come finals. Simply by saying out loud a competitor needs to do better or that she is fallen in the ranking, it means that she is therefore going to do better because we've pretty much told her to do so. And she's going to have to do so in order to get up the list. I mean, it's hard to fathom saying someone like Makati is average, but this is the Philippines, okay? The bar is high and the girls are good. You cannot just stay in the same place and think you're gonna be okay. But honestly, I honestly think a lot of the supposed frontrunners didn't really give what I wanted them to. It's not just Makati. Mandaue is not on the list. If you thought she's somewhere further up my list, she is not here. And I fully believed that she would be. In my previous video, I at least had Mandaue City on here. I had Lapu-Lapu on here. I had Masamis Oriental on here. Those girls are not on my list. And we all expected them to do a little bit more. Hell, I expected some of the women who are on my list to still give a bit more. Preliminary competition just wasn't giving. But I'm sure we're going to get something during finals. Otherwise, that reaction is going to be one hell of a reaction. Albay, another girl that made it rough for me because I went back. You guys know I will go back. I'll rewatch. I'll recheck. I'll redo. I will reevaluate and analyze. And I remade this list about 6 times. I got little balls of paper all over my floor. One of the reasons for that is Albay. She's a fantastic person to observe during an interview. Very natural. Like, she's one of the best when it comes to an interview. It seems like you could talk to her forever and she wouldn't have a problem with it. Like, that arguably is one of her strong suits. Albay comes off as a very natural presenter. She doesn't go overboard too much. She gives a very clean performance and then she leaves. However, as far up the list as she is, that's not going to be enough to win the crown. Miss Universe Philippines is special. Okay, she's not just good, she's special, she's different, she's captivating. You cannot just give bare minimum and expect to be number one. You have to have something special about you that we love. If it be your smile or just something about you that brings us all to our knees. And that is what Albay is missing. All of her performances are very clean. Not a problem in sight. But is it captivating? Like, were you fangirling when you saw Albay? You weren't. You weren't. So nothing about any of her presentations is bad. She just needs to give more. And this is the struggle when it comes to competing in Miss Universe Philippines. We are at number 6 right now. And from Albay up, nobody has any problems with them. Like, there's no problems with these women as competitors. From number 6 up, I could pretty much put all of these women on a Miss Universe stage and they're gonna make finals. But to be Miss Universe Philippines, you cannot just be a B student. Can't even be an A student. You have to be the A+ honor rolled valedictorian student to win. And this brings us to number 5. Number 5. Who was my number 5 last time? This woman was my number 6, and now she is my number 5. Cebu Province. I once again went back and rewatched this woman. I rewatched her about 3 times for all of her different performances because I really wanted to see what a specific issue with her that I could find. Now, there are little tweaks, obviously, that could be made here or there with anyone. Cebu Province probably could be a little bit more relaxed and relatable during her interviews, but her interview is a perfectly acceptable queenly interview, and her outfit was so cute, including her evening gown, just that flash of pink, very elegant, very graceful. She is a woman that does give me an extra little something. Like, there is something about Cebu Province that makes her a little bit special. And I do suspect that she's holding back just a little for finals. And by all means, girl, let loose. Let loose when it comes to finals. I want to see it because Cebu Province, she's one woman I know is capable of more. So for her to be number 5 right now, it would be very easy for her to take number 1 if she really wanted to. But she got to let the fight out. I'm pretty proud of the development that this queen has gone through because she was middle of the road before. When we were watching Runway Challenge, I had noticed her, called her out, but she was still in like the 7-8 position. Now she has grown. Now she's starting to come out. She's starting to fight. So I know she's going to come fighting and swinging when it comes finals night, and I look forward to seeing it. Congratulations. At number 4, I have Quezon Province. Snaps for you, girl. Snaps for you. Anybody who didn't recognize Quezon Province had one of the best swimwear performances, you are crazy. Are you kidding me? The transitions on Quezon Province during swimwear. She was flirting with me, but it was a natural flirt. When I'm saying I want a natural flirt, when I'm saying I want those natural transitions, it's the fluidity of movement. The way her face transitions from one facial expression to another, and it coincides with each change of position in her body. Magnificent, dynamic, magnetic performance. Quezon Province. Her swimwear was to die for. She gave this little cute wink at the end. I mean, flawless. And every bit of it seemed like it was just coming out of her. Like she was just having fun with it. She's like, you can see me from this angle. You can see me from this angle. And then I'll see you guys later. Bye. Like, she was so cute. It was adorable. I loved it. And then evening gown came out. Now, I think everybody could do better during evening gown, but even Quezon Province, she was still giving her face. She was still giving that flirtation. Gown looked great on you. She had one of the best evening gowns. You don't get points for evening gowns, but I still like the fact that you guys give me fashion. I'm not going to say I don't love it. Quezon Province with the face and the slay. Now, the one thing that would hold back Quezon Province is her interview, because you could tell she was a little bit nervous, but she was still being very real in her interview. I can tell that she's clearly nervous, which everybody is nervous in front of an audience, but when you are a queen, you really just got to own it. So that would be her one factor that might come for her and snatch a crown from her. I really have no choice but to put Quezon Province in the top 5 because, number 1, she had one of the best overall performances during preliminaries, and her interview is not terrible. Like, it's not catastrophic. She still speaks and presents her ideas very well. She just needs to get her nerves under control, but she's still relatable while she's giving her answer. She's still an engaging speaker. So it's going to be something that she would have to overcome, but being that some of these other women were a little bit underwhelming, like, let's be honest, a lot of the people we loved and thought were super high favorites kind of dropped the ball in this competition, okay? I have to be honest about that. A lot of the girls dropped the ball. Quezon Province didn't, which is likely what got her so high up the list. A lot of the queens really just left the door wide open, and this is what we got. At number 3, I have Bahol. Bahol, consistent competitor. She is a veteran queen, one of the court from last year. Her strongest attribute is interview. The girl never fails. She shows her personality. She is incredibly comfortable. Like, she's probably the best in interview. However, Bahol is not the most captivating stage performer. I don't think there has been a time yet where I like fangirled over Bahol. Like Bahol has never just made me like just scream. Bahol has never made me drop my pen. Bahol has just never sent me into the stratosphere. It's never happened. Not to say that she's a bad performer. She's not as captivating as other women. I know that Baguio City on her A game is much more captivating than Bahol. She's just one of those women that kind of dropped the ball during prelims. So it left the door wide open for women like Bahol to really take some spots and some points away from other women who have and have had the potential to outperform her. She's going to have to come swinging for the fences come finals night, because today I don't think I have really seen Bahol give that fiery like Miss Universe Philippines drop dead performance. And that's all she needs to do to win. She can ace an interview. She can ace a Q&A. The problem is she's got to bring that styling. She's got to bring that performance, impactful ability. Make the audience scream Bahol, and they will crown you queen. Okay. Here we go. My top two. I'm in love with my top two. My top two are amazing. Okay. My top two are amazing. But number two, I want to talk about number two, specifically my number two, because if there was anybody who was going to nip at the heels of Shaylin, Miss Victoria City, for the most improved competitor, it would be my number two spot. And my number two spot is Passai. Celeste Cortesi, you do the damn thing, girl. You get it. You have improved. She has gotten better. And I raved about her in the video that was unposted, and I'm going to say it here because she deserves all the accolades and the congratulations, because you did not see the fight. You did not see the fight of what Celeste Cortesi has been doing during this competition. I saw you during press presentation, girl. I saw what you were working with. See, Celeste knows that most people saw her as an IG baddie. They saw her as a slay queen. They thought that she was a runway queen and that's all she could do. Passai is catching on to what she's lacking and is taking the steps to further diversify her persona in the public eye. Passai is a woman that everybody sees as like a runway queen. She's definitely a fierce, like baddie type energy. You guys have heard me call her an IG baddie several times. She's got the look. She can take a hell of a photo. She's beautiful. She's super sexy, and that's the type of energy she puts out during like a runway challenger when she walks. She is fierce, but you never want to be seen in only one light when it comes to a pageant, because it's all about having that dimension. A pageant queen, a Miss Universe, is not just sexy. She's not only a good speaker, she is everything. Now you're looking at this and it's like, wow, she's beautiful. The way that she was walking was not fierce. It was graceful. She was presenting in a much more elegant and poised way than we have ever seen her before. Brilliant. Whoever's working with Passai, brilliant. You have shown that not only can she be fierce, she can be a queen. Celeste Cortesi showed up during press presentation in a very regal princessy, almost, it would have come off as matronly. She carried it well though. She came in this pink ball gown and she was very graceful and elegant. She was purposefully showing a different side of herself to show people, I am more than just, an IG baddie. I'm more than just a pretty face. I have the capacity to be a queen. That was a fantastic call. Whoever made that call for Celeste, including that outfit, because it's hard to pull off. A lot of the times it comes off as matronly, a little bit older, not necessarily youthful, and yet she was able to carry it and win an award for it. She looked gorgeous, stunning, regal. Celeste has been trying to show that I have the ability to be a fully developed queen. And your interview was so much improved, Celeste. Oh my God. The interview was like, I was like, who is this? What is happening? And I saw what happened. Whoever attempted to sabotage Passai's interview, good choice. Good choice. It didn't work, but I see the effort. I give you props for your diligence and for your insightfulness, because Celeste was the right woman to choose. There was two women that had their microphones sabotaged, and whoever the saboteur was, I'm gonna give you your props. Yeah, you tried. You did try, and you picked the right people, so I can't be mad at that. But her interview was so much better, and I took the time to sit there and lip read, because I can read lips. So I'm sitting here lip reading Celeste because I want to see what's coming out of her mouth. The level of comfort that she had and relatability and her overall presentation and aura was so comforting. It seemed like she had no problem standing in front of a microphone and giving a full interview. My neighbor was at the door. He brought us cactus. Apparently he brought some last time and Mom didn't share with me. We're gonna have to have words, Mom. Mom's finally back at work after injuring her leg on her motorcycle. Thank God, even though I hate being home alone now. It stinks. Anyways, back to Passai. One of the most improved queens that I've seen, who's been showing her dimension and showing her dynamics, and she had one of the best evening gowns. And you guys know that usually I will throw a fit over a white evening gown. My thing is, I just don't want you to look like a bride. As long as you don't look like a bride or like a pillow sack, I will live with it. Celeste has really been enchanting us with a different aspect of her personality that I have come to love. However, Celeste, baby, we all know you can do it. I'm hoping she brings it during finals. We need the IG baddie energy back. Yes, she can give grace and elegance, and she can give fierceness and ferocity, and she can do all that. Mix it up together, bring it to finals, and wow everybody. Now that she really seems to possess the ability to communicate better, all she really needs to do is just bring the fire, bring the spunk, bring the it factor. And quite honestly, of any of the women in competition that you would say has that it factor, has that fire, has that ability to be special and captivating and exciting on stage, Celeste is usually one of the first names, if not the name, that comes to mind. She needs to bring that to finals because that is what's going to get her all the way to the top. Now, people are sitting over there like, oh my God, wait. If Celeste isn't number one, who's number one? Like, people are sitting there screaming at me, yelling at me, just saying all types of nonsense at their screen, right? You guys know that I have a process to the madness, and I did, go back and check this. So I'm going to throw up my previous preliminary favorites list. And this was the ranking minus one name. And surprise, surprise, the same person that I had as my favorites list back then is still on my favorite top number one spot right now. If I was put in the entirely fictional position of being the sole person, the sole judge, the sole decision, the sole deciding factor on who got the Miss Universe Philippines crown, which would be insane, but if it was my sole decision and the rest of the world was suddenly frozen in stone and I was the only person left to make this decision, I would have to give the crown to Cebu City. Okay, look, justification time, I know. She is unmoved by the pressure, and quite honestly, I feel like the pressure does her a little good because the more pressure that has been applied to this woman, the shinier she's gotten. I feel like she's turning into a diamond in front of our eyes. And I thought that she would be dethroned by now, but she is still up there hanging onto her spot. Cebu Province is the only woman that made me give this reaction when I saw her come out during evening gown. Cebu Province comes with the sauciness, the sass. She was taking her time. It looked like she was really reveling and living in the spotlight and enjoying the attention. She gave a little smile and a flirt as she walked away. I mean, it was natural. It was fun. It looked like that's where she belonged. It looked like she didn't want to leave the stage, and it looked like she left us all wanting more. She came out in that evening gown, that velvet. Oh, I love velvet. I love velvet because it's so damn regal, and she pulled it off. It was a very simple gown. It was elegant. It was a little bit feisty. It's still regal. It was a fantastic choice, Cebu Province, and you owned it. You owned it. I was like, oh my God, who is she? Like, I love her. Like, oh girl, stop. Like, I was given all types. If you could see my reaction, that reaction video would have been boring. I was bored. Honestly, I was like, a lot of people bored me, but Cebu Province sure as hell didn't. She did the damn thing. So if she comes out during finals, y'all are done for. Because Cebu Province, did I have her number one? Let me check. By the way, I just realized I'm saying Cebu Province and not Cebu City because I'm distracted by my bangs and her face. Like, it's just all that. Cebu City, I just checked my list because my lists are right here. In fact, I have my list from like last year and the year before right here as well. It's very weird. I should throw these things away and I don't. Cebu City is the only person I ranked under Davao del Sur when it came to interviews. She is one of the most well-spoken women in this competition, bar none. And Davao del Sur is not on my favorites list, which makes Cebu City the most dangerous spoken woman in finals competition. Period. And she was one of the only women bringing her A game when it came to performance on that stage. She did not let off the throttle. But I also know that, once again, she's a Filipina. She knows come finals, she gonna have to bump it up. So this is where holding back, you have to understand how much to hold back. Cebu City is probably giving her A game, but she's probably not giving A plus game. That's the thing. You don't want to hold back to where you become a C student and then you lose the valedictorianship to somebody else. You want to hold back ever so slightly. So be an A student, but not necessarily an A plus student. Come finals, if Cebu City comes out an A plus student, y'all might as well have stayed in bed. You might as well have stayed in bed, because ever since I've been making favorites lists, Cebu City has been the #1 spot on all of them. And the only girl that was nipping at her heels was Makati, who has fallen down my list. So, boom, Cebu City is my #1 spot. In the comment section below, let me know who's in your top 5, who's in your top 10. Are you surprised some people were left off my list? Are you surprised by the placement of other women? I did my best to justify, my rankings and my placements. I love like Mandaue, even Victoria City, but I have to be able to justify where I place them. Mandaue didn't justify getting on the list. I fully believe Shaylin can do better, and I fully believe she will do better. It is very easy at this point to improve your ranking, especially if you are in the lower half of the list. One slight change will send you flying up the list. That's why I'm pushing for Shaylin to just do a little bit better, because she'll pop right up the list easily. Now, taking out Cebu City is not going to be for the faint of heart. She has stayed up there, and Passai has only ever gotten better. Passai was ranked #5 on my preliminary favorites list, and now she's #2. So she's also a woman that's steadily moving up the list. She has never dropped down. So gaining on the top 5 is going to be difficult. But if you're in like number 11, 10, 8 spot, it's pretty easy to move up if you just do a little bit more. So put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And remember, I love you and I will miss you, but I will be back in a future video. Bye.